For me, that's not a high bar, but...
Alright, I'm streaming now.
Awesome. I'll flip mine on here as well.
So I think I type in your name right here. You're not popping up. Let's see.
Is that on Twitch? Like, there was like a co-stream thing that got added. Is that right?
Where you can like
together.
Yeah, you can stream together too. You can do that too.
I've never actually used that, so I have no idea how it works. But
I was trying to add you like in the game. I was trying to add you.
Oh, okay. Here, let's see.
Like to the lobby.
Okay. Put my thing on here. Alright, system notice, yep. Always say yes, don't read the contract.
I think this is you right here, I think. Maybe. Or no.
It's same as my gamer tag. Confirm. There we go. This is a little cutscene before the game starts. I'm literally just turning it on now for the first time.
Yeah.
There we
so I
go.
sent you an invite there. So there you go. Yeah, awesome.
Okay. So let's see.
Yeah.
Automatic. Oh, okay. There's a lot of characters at least to pick from right away.
Okay.
Oop.
Yeah, that's a pretty big roster of people here that you have.
I mean,
Anybody that catches your eye immediately.
The right heroes could make
Whirl
all
Girl.
the difference.
Oh, Whirl Girl.
First thing I see is give me Squirrel Girl.
Squirrel Girl. So we did it, everybody. We bullied Sage into playing a Overwatch type shooter here. Yeah. Usually he doesn't play these type of games, so.
Yeah, this might be the one and only
I'm your friendly neighborhood
time
Spider-Man.
that you see me
Only
streaming
my neighborhood
this.
is now like multiple realities. Cool, right?
So I'll pick Spider. I haven't played Spider-Man yet, so I'll pick Spider-Man. And I see you on your stream.
They're coming in 30 seconds. Stay strong.
Post.
Doing the right thing just makes you feel good, doesn't it?
Get in here, y'all.
All right.
The battle starts in 5, 4, 3, 2.
How do you like this Spider-Man costume? He's pretty armored up here.
I feel like with Spider-Man, you often end up overcomplicating the suit anytime they try and change it. I feel like I don't know. It's not like as I've seen worse examples, but I do feel like you don't need so many
Watch
little
out, they're
bits
headed
and
our way.
pieces and extra lines and stuff on them.
Oh shit! Enemy territory here, and I died.
All right, what does Squirrel Girl do? She's got a big acorn,
I hope the next... Now I've got something to prove.
like a slingshot. You're kind of curvy. Fan of that.
Ground and pound.
Did they make a recent announcement? They said that somebody was voicing Squirrel Girl or something. Or...
Yes, they were gonna do a new Warrior show, and then it got canceled. And then the actress that was cast to play the character on that show and ended up getting to do the voice here, since I don't remember her name, but
Was it
yeah,
the AT&T woman or Allison
Swing
Brie or?
ooh, it definitely wasn't Allison Brie. Ooh, I can't remember the name. I'll look it up in between matches.
Okay.
Here, let's see, is there like a sprint button here that I can go a little faster? Oh, wow, okay. That demolished around that corner.
And you can change heroes in between if you wanted to. I mean, like when you die, you can change heroes.
Oh, okay. Oh, well, that's cool.
What about Cloak and Dagger? They probably got some good projectiles, right? Cloak and Dagger.
Yeah, Cloak and Dagger. Yeah, that's a pair of characters I'd love to see more of. Stuff in general.
Did you watch their show on Hulu?
Yeah, I watched the first season. I thought it was better than I was expecting, based on it being kind of like a Disney Channel kind of thing.
Chicken soup.
But I still thought it had, like, and I mean, don't get me wrong, the characters should have a teen hero kind of vibe to them, to some degree, but I think it felt just a little too, like, Disney Channel, low-budget teen romance, like, too close to something like the CW superhero shows. But I did like the actors that they cast. I genuinely liked the chemistry between them, and I thought, you know, even though I might not have been into that show so much, like, it would be nice to see them get another chance to play the characters.
Mm.
Did you watch that series at all?
I did not. It's one of the few ones I did not watch.
Mess with the amazing spider.
Yeah, it was better than the Runaways show. I'll tell you that much.
Okay.
I did not think was very good.
Now Spider Fist is ready to punch.
That's another I didn't even think about it until just right now, but that's another superhero redemption story for an actor. The guy that played, I forget the actor's name now, but he played Vic in The Penguin. He was one of the kids in The Runaways. So that was like a total reverse turnaround.
I'm not a vengeful person, but today I'll make an exception.
Let me see. Let me change here.
Gonna get sticky.
Behold the god of thunder!
Dang. I feel like with these people that, with some of these if they don't have projectiles, you're basically kind of screwed here.
Yeah, there's definitely a bit of that feel. There's also, like, I mean, I know so much of games like these are about, like, the coordination of it all and kind of working with your team, and I don't know. I don't know if we get, like, I wonder how coordinated teams can be unless you really have, like, let's see, how many players is this? 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. So I wonder if you can, like, 100% have, like, an effective team unless you've got, like, a full set of players that you're coordinating with and all that, you know?
Yeah, like you're talking over the mic and, yeah. Got a whole crew of people. Scarlet Witch is pretty decent. I played her a little bit. I think I'll go with Bucky.
Give me a Magneto.
Sidekick. What I do is best done alone.
I don't love this Magneto costume.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that. Yeah, the skins that they have for certain characters, like Magneto, like what skin is that for him? Is that
I'm just a soldier?
Nothing I've seen before. I mean, it's, you know, there's so many fucking X-Men comics in particular. It could absolutely be. Oh, okay, he's got a shield. That's kind of cool.
thinking?
That's easy, gun.
Today
That
we
does.
fight as allies. Do not give me reason to alter that arrangement.
Okay, I got a
The battle
shield.
starts in 5, 4,
I'm also just like, I don't even know what the...
2,
He has like a
Buttons are
sword or
doing.
something, or
all you
I
need
guess
to do
so.
is capture the mission area. Got it?
and then for like Thor, they have it's like old man Thor, like
Yeah,
Jason
that's
Aaron
interesting.
run of Thor. They have like him.
Yeah, that's interesting that that's the... Because is that the default for?
Yeah, that's like I think that's the default.
An enchanted object.
Yeah, that's a little weird. I mean, like, I guess whatever designs they want to go with.
Thanks for the upgrade.
But,
Looks like the mission area is yours to capture now. Capture the mission area. Pleases me to be helpful.
okay, I think I killed 2 people. That's, you know, better than the entire last round.
Damn.
There's a big, like, kraken monster behind that big old door over there. Wonder if that's supposed to be, the hive.
Good thing I was here.
From which Marvel thing? Or from
I'm trying to. So I think the Hive was originally introduced in the New Warriors comics, and he was like this tentacle monster, Cthulhu type thing that Hydra like created in like a lab. It was like almost supposed to be like the octopus, the tentacled octopus like logo of Hydra, with like a creature.
I like it.
That feels better. This would.
who is Jeff the Land Shark? I never heard of that. Is he like an original character or something? Or?
I think he's from a comic. I just think it's very, very, very recent comic that I am like not as linked into. The last like I don't know, probably 5 or 6 years now, I haven't been like quite as up to date on all of my comic knowledge.
Captured more than half of the mission area. Keep going.
I still pick up some stuff here and there, but it's definitely not as like
Incoming!
I could not tell you a ton of like those super recent stuff.
The moon haunts you.
I'd say in the last 5-6 years, I've kind of transitioned into reading more manga than anything.
Ready to put on a show.
Ah, okay. And you are reading the Claymore manga.
The god of
Yeah, I just started that. So far, I like it. It's plot-wise, it's not too far off of what the show was, but in terms of just the visual presentation, the book definitely is like way better.
judge.
And then I don't know if it's just because I can't hear his voice, but the Rocky kid, I don't find him as annoying as I did in the show, but I still find him annoying. Like he still kind of irritates me. But not being able to actually hear him whine, I think does help. That does make it a little bit better.
Oh shit.
Moon Knight placed an arc. The only way to stop Hydra is to get to Monmouth.
I also, so far, I will say I haven't like been able to pick out any like characters' voices super distinctly, except for the fact that they're saying their own names, like Pokemon. But other than that, a lot of I'm not like hearing like super like obvious, like, oh, that's exactly what that character should sound like, sort of thing.
Yeah, I don't know if there's any characters like from the animated shows or anything like that people might recognize that are doing the voices, or from the video games, other video games, or anything like that.
Yeah. We win that one? Oh no, we lost. Okay. But yeah, so like I was saying, the hive creature that Hydra made, that was
Sometimes I wish I could go back
adapted
the deep
in
freeze for a
Agents
few
of
more
Shield, so that
decades.
has been done in live action. That big tentacle face Hulu monster thing. Yep, that's totally what the table in here is.
30 seconds before you attack.
It's like that's
Get
yeah.
ready.
It's like the layer of hive.
I've tagged a potential hotspot.
What's a raccoon?
I don't know. I guess I don't know how much of that series that you saw, but I think I want to say CE was like the main villain in the third season of it.
Calling me a raccoon. I'm a bad.
I was watching Agents of Shield. I stopped around. Man, I can't even remember
Battle
now.
starts in 5, 4.
It took like the entire first season before it actually got good, so I don't blame anybody for falling off of it.
I watched past like pretty well into the show. I watched to the point where wasn't it like Agent Coulson like had like a robot hand or something, and then or he died, and then they brought him back to life again or something, right?
What they do like make him like a life model decoy.
Yeah.
I think it's in the last. I think that's like season 7 though. That's like the very last season. That's almost the whole show.
Yeah.
I do think it got kind of weak though at the end for sure. I enjoyed like up to the point where they like actually killed him off, and I was like, you know what, this is a pretty decent ending for this. And then they were like, but we could keep going. I was like, Kind of the whole premise of the show was that he died, and you guys were like, but we could keep it going, and then you kill him in the show, and then you're like, let's just do that again.
I've tagged a potential hotspot.
So they killed him, and then, or he sacrifices himself, and they turn him into a life model decoy. Or...
Yeah, I think he dies because I think there's like some sort of like actual like natural born. Like natural disease or something that sets in. It's been a little bit since I saw it, but I think he does something that's like, I think he's gonna die for like natural causes or something. And
oh shit!
I remember thinking it was a good death, like where it's like, yeah, leave the show off here. I like this. I'm pretty sure it was the end of the 5th season. Quake. Daisy Johnson fights like Gravitron in like the city, and it's supposed to be like the morning before Thanos attacks Wakanda, so like they don't have to deal with the snap. So it's supposed to be like the series finale. It's like the morning before that happens, but then they also like they bring it back for like a 6 and a 7. And it felt like, I don't know, it felt like very weird and artificially extended.
I think, yeah, was that also season 7 where, like, the female scientist, she got, like, captured by aliens, and then she was held hostage?
She's stranded on an alien planet in season 3.
Oh, okay, in season 3? Okay.
I mean, I actually... You know, I think the first season of that show was super weak, but I think 2, 4, and 5 are pretty strong seasons of TV. 3's I think is still good, but it's a little weaker than the others. Still better than the first season. And then then they did like 6 and 7, and those last 2 were kind of, I don't know, kind of like just felt like they were making more. They didn't want to let it go.
Yeah,
but
that's not canon anymore anyway, right?
I mean, with the multiverse, everything is, right?
Oh, yeah, I guess so.
I mean, that's part of why I thought leaving it at 5 was a really good ending, because it's like, it tied into the movies just enough that it felt connected through those 5 seasons, and then the last one was like, alright, our series finale is the ending, the morning before Thanos shows up on Earth, so there's no, like, contradictions in the plot. And then that would have been a great place to leave it off. Hey, we won one. Do that.
So you've never played any type of game like this? Never. All right.
As long as there's still
I
something
played.
worth fighting for.
Well, I guess
I'll be on the
Helldivers was
front
like
lines.
a group of players fighting the computer, so it wasn't player versus player the way this
Time to
is.
hit 'em hard.
So yeah, I think this is the first time I've ever played a
30
game with
seconds
this
before you
style,
attack. Get ready.
or at least for more than like 5 minutes.
You can't have my new arm, Rocket.
I'll make it with your while, Bucky. Go on.
But
Name
I
the
will always give
Coonskin
Agents of Shield
Yikes.
props
I
for
mean,
doing
technically, I raccoon, but
I think a very good on-screen Ghost Rider.
Why did they give Rocket Raccoon a mohawk? What's the game of
Battle
mohawk?
starts in 5,
Uh,
3.
I've never seen that before, but I also wouldn't be shocked if it did exist in the comics somewhere either.
once we get
You know,
this timeline thing
were you
sorted out,
familiar with that character before the movie? Like the first
nah.
Guardians movie?
lots of stuff
In the comics, he, at least the way I read it, it's written with more of an accent, and I always, the way it's written in the comics, I always kind of heard it in my head as Jason Statham.
A gift from conscience, or perhaps a curse.
Well, I guess they
Well,
kind of
yeah,
give
this-
him like a Bradley Cooper's kind of doing like a Brooklyn, New York accent with Rocket.
Yeah, he's doing more of a accent. In the comic, it's written with like a Jason Statham, like British kind of accent. Or at least it used to be. I don't know. That's one thing that always bothers me, and one reason I'd say especially Marvel comics, I'm less interested in nowadays, is they often will go out of their way to kind of try and change the like structure of the world, relationships of the characters in the comics to try and reflect the movies more. And that goes back to, like, you know, the Bryan Singer X-Men, in 2000, or like Sam Raimi Spider-Man. Like, they've always kind of done that. It's always been kind of, but like with the MCU and just there being so many Marvel movies, like them doing that, like, really started to get irksome. Like, there was a period from like
Team's capture progress.
20, I want to say like 2014-ish to like,
Control seized.
I don't know, 2021 or 2022, something like that. Like a good 7-8 years. They pretty much like just killed the Fantastic Four off in the comics, and like we're not making Fantastic Four comics just because they didn't have the rights to the movies. Fox still had them, so they're like, well, we're just gonna not make comic books about these characters because we also can't make movies about these characters. And then same thing with X-Men. They kind of did the same thing. Where like they really tried to kind of push X-Men out of the picture, and mutants even in general out of the picture, and they really tried to make Inhumans almost like replace mutants. And that's one of the reasons why you got like that terrible Inhumans show, and even the Miss Marvel character in the comics, which I really like the Miss Marvel character. I loved that. I've got G. Willow Wilson's entire like 9-volume run that character was like created for. But like that, even though I think that character is great, she was created almost entirely because I think they actually pitched her as being a mutant first, and then because they couldn't make X-Men movies, Marvel was like, well, what if we made her an Inhuman instead, because we're really pushing Inhumans right now. Like, because the whole storyline where she even comes from is Black Bolt's, because the city on the moon is like destroyed, so like all the Inhumans on the moon are living on Earth. And Black Bolt, right, the king, he detonates like a Terrigen mist bomb in the atmosphere, and so he just turns like he turns like latent Inhumans into Inhumans like all over the planet, and so you have like Inhumans, instead of it being this like small community on the moon that's kind of this weird other thing, very different from mutants. They just have him like activate a bunch of Inhumans on Earth and try and turn Inhumans into mutants and like replace them within the
My mission isn't over
context
yet.
of the universe or whatever.
Friend.
Okay.
And it just felt like a super cheap thing where they were just trying. They were and that Terrigen Mist bomb even became like they retconned it so that, like, Terrigen Mist is actually toxic to mutants and it kills mutants. So there was like a mass like epidemic disease that mutants. So like there was like a ton of mutants dying and like there weren't very many of them anymore, and the Inhumans were like literally replacing them. And then the second that they get the rights to X-Men, this Disney bought Fox, the Marvel Comics go, oh, well, what if we retconned Miss Marvel into being a mutant now, after she's already been an Inhuman for years? It's just super weird. And that's also, not only is that a reflection of them getting the rights of X-Men back and like these weird business decisions they make about the canon of the comics. Oh, hey, 2 out of 3. There we go.
Yeah.
But yeah, not only is that like this weird thing that reflects like, oh, what don't own, but it also is, again, just like, oh, what's the plot of the MCU right now? Oh, in the Miss Marvel show, they had to change her powers because... And I don't know if they changed her powers in the show because they were not confident that they could do stretchy powers on, like, the budget of a Disney Plus show, or, like, what the reason for that was. But regardless, in the comics, then they retconned everything to try and make her closer to the live-action version. And so all that is just to say, like, that is one of the reasons why I am not as into Marvel Comics anymore, because I feel like they constantly are just like, well, what's happening in the movies? And then on a whim, they retcon things, like Wanda and Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver haven't even been Magneto's kids in years, because in the MCU, when they made Age of Ultron, they didn't have the rights to mutants, so they had to have them have different origins in the movies. So it's like a year or two after that in the comics, they were just right away, they were like, well, let's just like retcon it so that they were never his kids in the first place, and make the comic origin the same as the movie origin. And it just bugs me that they always feel like, I guess because, you know, the movies are ultimately popular medium for, you know, for like, I mean, like a mainstream audience is going to pay more attention to a film. So let's just change the comics to try and attract those movie audiences to read the books. But I think time and time again, it's kind of been proven that general movie-going, no matter how much they like these movies, like peak, right, MCU, Infinity War, Endgame, $1 billion, and then some, you know, profit that these movies are making, and yet it does not translate to comic sales. So for me, who's like, I've read comics since I was like a little kid, I've loved these comic universes for way before. Like, I remember, you know, kids getting shoved in lockers because it was like, you know, not okay to be into these things when I was little. And so to me, it's just frustrating to see them constantly change what the comics are to try and go in line to what the movies are. When, like, I'm cool with the movie making changes and adapting things and doing it differently than the books. But then it's frustrating that the book is like, well, but then we gotta be just like the movies. It's just like, it's this weird mentality, and it doesn't work anyway. Like, it doesn't translate to sales. And I don't know if that's like, I don't know. I don't know what the reason that they just can't figure that out is. That's my rant about Marvel Comics.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, you see them. Yeah, try to mirror what's going on in the Marvel universe there with the comics.
Look out, bad guys.
And it's not.
I guess I think it helps.
Of the time.
Attract people who like the movies, and then
They think that, but then if you look at the sales numbers, it doesn't actually do anything. I swear, you check every time if they make one of these retcons to try and kind of make that appeal to the movie fans, and movie fans still never buy the comics, even if they try and make it exactly like the way the movie is. It just never actually sells more comics. So I don't get why they keep doing it. Like, a few times, because you haven't, it's an experiment, you haven't done it yet, you haven't tried this, it's like a new thing, sure, like, whatever, but then over it again.
What this character?
I don't know. That's what I don't get, is they just keep going back and doing it when there's evidence that it doesn't actually work or make comics sell better.
Let me pick a new character.
I wasn't expecting Penny Parker in here.
Yeah,
Kinda cool.
yeah. Sometimes they have these random characters. It's like, okay.
I mean, she's a lot more popular now because of the Spider-Verse movies. So I get it. But she also definitely, no one would have known who this was without that movie, for sure.
She's the Japanese Spider-Man, right?
Yeah, with the robot.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I'm stuck in with like everybody except for Magneto. I was doing really well with Magneto. See?
How was Doctor Strange?
I just kept dying immediately with him. Maybe I mean, you know, it might just be I don't really get how his moveset is being utilized, but Magneto feels like really intuitive to me. Actually, I feel like I get how he's supposed to move around really easily.
I switched to Cloak and Dagger, so I switched to them.
Ooh, yeah, I'm curious to try them out. But yeah, I don't know, like, DC, I feel like, doesn't give in to what is going on with the movies nearly as much, and that maybe is because their movies have been, you know, at least the universe was so less successful than Marvel for so long, so maybe that's why they didn't change the comics to reflect the movies, but it's still, for me, it's a big sticking point with Marvel. You still do get, sometimes you get some cool stuff from Marvel, like, it's not like it's always bad. Like the last, I haven't read it yet, but there's oh shit, I just backed up off the entire map. I didn't even know you could do that. Like I really would like to read, it's maybe a year or two old now, but there was a new run of The Incredible Hulk that I really wanted to read. Because, you know, the original Incredible Hulk was very inspired by, like, Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, and like the Lon Chaney Wolfman movie. And so this recent Hulk comic was, they kind of changed the rules a little bit of how Hulk worked, how he transformed and stuff. And basically he only turned into the Hulk if he died. And they also had it be that he only transformed into the Hulk at nighttime. So you'd get like moments in the story where like he would have to like actually like violently kill himself to turn. And then you'd get up. There's other where he'd get, you know, typically in the comics he gets attacked. Like the second he even starts getting hurt, he turns into the Hulk. But within the context of this particular take on things, he would get like violently murdered. And if it was in the middle of the day, it would just be like his mangled corpse on the ground for like 6 hours until the sun went down. And I thought that I don't know too much about like the narrative of the comic, but I thought the way that they interpreted that of the Hulk, kind of looking at it through that kind of almost classic Universal monster sensibility, I thought that was a really cool idea, at least. So I don't know how good the comic actually is, but I think the concept is really interesting.
And who wrote that?
I'm not sure of the writer on that, actually. I would have to look it up. But Yeah, that's one I definitely plan to check out. It's probably the only recent Marvel comic that I still need to really read. Otherwise, Jonathan Hickman's X-Men run, that was like 2019-ish, 2018-ish, something like that. That was fantastic. That was the last Marvel run I thought was really great. There was like a big twist where, like, they did like this whole thing with Moira McTaggart, and like a big twist with her being a mutant, and the reason that like she had never she had always seemed like a normal human until this like twist happened, was that she basically, her mutant power is reincarnation. So you saw this like kind of almost what was that movie where it's like all the reincarnations of it's all like all the actors play like different it was the Matrix chicks that directed it.
Cloud Atlas.
Yeah. It was almost like it had like a little bit of Cloud Atlas thing to it, where you saw like all of the different lives of Moira McTaggart play out, and like it was like every single different one of her lives or her reincarnations, she was trying to like stop this like apocalypse or this like genocide that Apocalypse commits, like kind of the Days of Future Past thing a little bit, but through the lens of this who keeps living like a full lifetime like through it, and then dying of old age, and then having to start over and try and stop it again. I thought that was cool because it wasn't just like, hey, here's time travel, so like the character could just keep going back in time the moment they realize they've failed, but rather, even once she's failed to prevent this thing happening, she still has to live like an entire lifetime of years and experiences and memories in this like really messed up future, or present, I guess, for her. And then she gets to reincarnate and then have another chance at doing it. And so I thought that was also like a really cool take on that type of storyline. That was a really clever kind of X-Men narrative.
Got a good field of fire. Next stop, the Weaver.
That was Jonathan Hickman, who I think generally has a really solid like kind of sci-fi grasp on Marvel Comics. Like he did the 2015 Secret Wars book, which I thought was phenomenal. I don't know if you've ever read that, but that's like...
No, I haven't.
That's like legitimately, I think, one of the best like Marvel comics probably ever published. Like that's like a true event comic. And that's also, well, I do not think they're going to, if they do adapt it with that, I guess it'd be the 6th Avengers movie, the one after Doomsday. I don't think they're going to adapt it well. Because it requires so much history, and so much history specifically around Doctor Doom and the Fantastic Four. And I just do not believe they're going to get those dynamics down. And even if they get them down okay, there's no way they're going to have the history built in for an event like that to feel consequential.
That's coming out 2026, 2027?
Yeah, because, like, that comic is, like, so, like, basically there's this whole story, and before Secret Wars even, where there's, like, this race of beings called the Beyonders, and they're, like, they seem to be, like, basically deleting, like, every single universe in the multiverse. And slowly, every universe keeps getting destroyed until the last universe left is the, like, classic 616 universe, like, the main Marvel continuity. And then the one other left is, like, the Ultimate Comics universe, where, like, Miles originally comes from, and, that started in, like, the late 90s. It's kind of their, at the time, modern reinterpretation of the universe or whatever. And so it's like this like war breaks out between the main universe and the Ultimate Universe, and then ultimately they end up still completely collapsing. And there's like a group of heroes and a group of villains that each survive in like these like pods that are built to survive outside of like reality, and then but the only three people that aren't in the pods that like live through this destruction of the multiverse are Doctor Strange, Doctor Doom, and Molecule Man. And Molecule Man can he can manipulate his atomic structure, but basically Doctor Strange and Doctor Doom like rip him apart, like rip him into like his like subatomic molecules, and basically use Molecule Man's power between Doctor Strange and Doctor Doom to recreate like a single miniature universe out of all the different universes of the multiverse, where like Doctor Doom is this like god emperor of this reality, and like he's got like there's like an old Game of Thrones style being monsters out in this reality where like I'm about to be removed from the game. Why is that?
What, are you not in this match? Or...
I thought I was.
You're in the lead now.
Okay. Maybe the character I picked was already taken, and I thought it was. Well, either. So yeah, like Doctor Doom's like not emperor of this weird fractal like combo universe of all these different worlds, and you know, like that Spider-Man can still swing around. That's nice, at least. Yeah, so then like they've got like a Game of Thrones wall, and like every monster from the multiverse is hidden behind it. So there's like a sea of symbiotes mixed with the Ultron bots, mixed with like the zombies from the Marvel Zombies universe, mixed with like it's like every like it's like the Brood from X-Men, like every like horde enemy you can imagine in like one giant army in like a wasteland, just like chilling out there. And then there's almost like a Night's Watch sort of thing too, where like but every single person in it is a Thor. So like Storm is a Thor, Thor is there, Odin is another Thor. Beta Reaper is a Thor, and then so there's like all these different characters who like probably have never even picked up Mjolnir, and they're all just like this army of Thors that are like Doctor Doom's like henchmen basically. Or like Doctor Doom's throne is Yggdrasil, the world tree from Norse mythology, but also it's also Groot has been like turned into Yggdrasil. And then Galactus is like the furnace that powers the world. It's like this real weird conglomerate universe. And
so it's like the Old Man Logan world, or
it's crazier even than that, because like that's a future timeline, and it uses a bunch of like existing characters in clever ways. But this is truly like the multiverse has collapsed in on itself, and Doctor Strange and Doctor Doom, they like recreate. They call it like Battle World, and like they recreate this like
damn, come on,
just
Shang-Chi.
Bizarre like micro universe where like all these things are mixed together, and like some characters are like combined into each other, and like are like it's super weird. It's one I would highly encourage you to just read yourself. It's not that long. There's like a lot of tie-ins around it, but you don't have to read any of the other books to like get what's going on. You can just pick up the one book. But it's a great Doctor Doom story. That's my big thing. I don't think they're going to be able to tell a good Doctor Doom story in the MCU. I just I am so pessimistic that they're going to be able to do anything with that.
I don't know how we won. I don't know what the hell I was doing.
I was just hitting buttons. Go Stephanie.
Yeah, Venom.
Got that Venom in him.
Yeah, I don't even know what the Jeff though. I don't know what the hell that's supposed to be. So it's supposed to be. Is that supposed to be like King Shark recent. Or something?
I'll look it up, but it's definitely from like a recent book.
It's like a dog shark or something. It's cute. I mean, it's cute.
Oh, it's cute. I bet they, as soon as they get it into a movie, they're gonna start selling so many toys. The Jeff the Land Shark, also known as Jeffrey. Created by writer Kelly Thompson, character first appeared in West Coast Avengers in October of 2018. Not named or formally introduced until January of 2019. Jeff was originally a pet land shark of the superhero Gwenpool, but has since had other caretakers such as Deadpool, Elsa Bloodstone, and Kate Bishop.
3, 2,
Okay.
1.
So it's a Gwenpool thing, which makes a lot of sense.
Only one team wins this. Try to make it yours.
Any person you surprise is not in this initial pack of characters?
The
Iron Man's there. There's the Black Panther. Yeah, Black Panther. I'll try him out.
They've come from behind, but you can still turn this around.
Unless I missed it, I don't see any of the Fantastic Four.
No, they're not.
That's kind of surprising. I would think
I
they
think
would have.
after the movie they'll put them in here.
They're probably waiting because that's coming out next year. You know?
Yeah.
I want so badly for there to be a single good Fantastic Four movie. Like, I want so badly. I've wished for... Well, okay. Here's the thing. There is one good Fantastic Four movie. It's called The Incredibles.
Yeah.
But I would like to see one time the actual Fantastic Four, like, be good.
My light cannot be snuffed.
They just
feels
wrapped
like
filming. I don't know when they're going to drop a trailer. They might drop a trailer because the movie's supposed to come out in July.
July. I think it's opening like right against the Superman movie.
Yeah. So they might drop one, maybe just January, February.
I can see it.
Yeah. So you got Pedro Pascal, you got Vanessa Kirby, you got Joseph Quinn, you got what's his name? The guy from The Bear.
Evan Moss Baccarat?
Yes.
Baccarat? Something like that.
He's gonna be the Thing.
The only casting that I'm a little... Well, I'm still not totally sold on Pedro Pascal just because I feel like I've seen him in so many things that I'm not totally sure. I mean, I'm sure he'll be good. I don't know. So much exposure on him lately, I feel like it might be hard to not just see Pedro Pascal. But we'll see how it goes. But the main one I'm kind of skeptical about is Joseph Quinn. I haven't seen him in anything yet.
He was in Gladiator just recently.
Okay, I didn't see that. I know he's in Stranger Things, but I stopped watching that before he was in it. But yeah, I haven't gotten a feel for him yet, so I might totally be on board with his casting. I'm just not familiar. Well, and then, God, I hope he's not even in the movie, or at least, relegate him to a post-credit scene. But Robert Downey Jr.'s Doctor Doom still annoys the hell out of me.
There was a photo on Pedro Pascal's Instagram where they did the rap party, and then they showed he had a picture with a guy, but his face was blurred out. So a lot of people speculated.
That's probably it.
Well, they said that because I think they're filming in. I forgot where they were filming, but people said, well, photographers, because obviously Robert Downey Jr. is a pretty famous guy. Photographers would have, had him walking around the city or something. They think it might be the original. I mean, not the original one, but the guy who played him in the 2004 movie. Reed Richards. No, the Reed Richards from the.
Ian Belford.
Yeah, it might be him.
Does anybody want that version of him to come? Is anybody hoping to see that again?
Well, you know, people, they just like nostalgia for nostalgia's sake, you know, so if somebody played him, like, it's like saying Chris Evans is, you know, Johnny Storm, even though those movies sucked, it's like, oh, but he played him in that movie, and he's back again.
At least with Chris Evans as Johnny Storm, at least I could say that he was the best part of those movies, and like had like a personality, instead of just being like, kind of boring. But Ian Grufford didn't do anything. He didn't really do anything in those. Like I get Chris Evans. That one I understand. I don't get anyone else from that coming back.
You didn't like Michael Chiklis?
You know what? He wasn't a bad casting choice. I guess it's just the script I just don't like in those movies, and then that costume looked terrible.
It seems like with the Thing and this new one, they're going to go like with the kind of CGI plus practical plus like make him look like how the Thing looked when he very first got introduced.
I saw the set photo, like the practical costume, and I thought it looked really good. At least the set photos. Who knows how it looks with like almost you know, CGI all the way on. Yeah, I mean, I thought that so far, based on that set photo, I thought it looked pretty cool. That character's looked like absolute shit every single adaptation, so just, you know, we'll see if they finally pull it off. I feel like it shouldn't be that hard. Like, it shouldn't be that hard of a character to do right. I get stretchy powers are maybe kind of difficult. Like, no one had really ever done that right before, but like, making a dude just convincingly look like rocks shouldn't be that hard of a job, right? Like, I don't know. Although I do think the worst thing about both the Tim Story Fantastic Four movies and then was it Fan Four Stick? I think the worst thing about all of those movies is Doctor Doom.
Someone's on a winning streak. Totally cosmic.
Oh.
Like, that character has been done dirty so many times. The Fantastic Four as a whole has been done dirty, but I especially feel like Doctor Doom has just been done dirty over and over and over again, more than almost like any other character. And I feel like it's happening already again.
Yeah, so Toby Kebbell played him in the latest one, and then Julian McMahon, played him in the 04 one.
I don't know what it is, but they cannot resist giving him superpowers.
Maybe it's just easier for them. You know, it's like, oh, he's got just like the rest of them instead of like,
it's definitely easier. It's also lazy.
You know.
Like, just have them be part of the same experiment they get their powers from. Like, that is just not... Just so not what the character is. Like, it's just so not.
Why does it say Yigsgard?
Pick your hero.
So,
or villain. I'm not judging.
It's supposed to be... Yeah, I don't know why it says that. It's trying to be a play on Yggdrasil, the world tree, but I don't know why it's calling it Yggdrasil instead of Asgard. Because, like, Asgard is one of the realms that's connected by Yggdrasil, but it's not. It is not, like, Yggdrasil is not in Asgard. Like, the tree isn't in Asgard. It's like a cosmic tree that connects all of the different worlds. So that's kind of a weird... I don't know, that's kind of weird. I'm already nitpicking the comic mythology.
Maybe I don't know, maybe there was a comic run where it was called Yigsgard, maybe.
That's entirely possible. That's totally something that could happen, and I'd just not even be aware of it. It annoys me how bad they do Doctor Doom. Like that character just has so much depth to him. That is my favorite Marvel Comics character. Honestly, that is my favorite character in the entire Marvel Comics universe. I think he has so much depth and so many interesting stories and so much character that they can do, and they just every time they just ignore it. Like, I am not even sure that they're going to really do that much with Steve Richards and Victor Von Doom as a character dynamic. Like, I honestly am, call me a pessimist, but I really am getting the feeling that the big important character dynamic Doctor Doom's going to have is going to be with Spider-Man in these Avengers movies. That is my, like, fear right now. Rat, Captain America, can you do anything?
He can't throw the shield or anything?
He does, but it's got like it feels like it's got a really long cooldown on it.
Yeah, certain characters like Captain America, it's like you gotta get up close to him, and you gotta... Like, how was it playing with Black Panther?
Black Panther was cool, but he also was so fast that I was almost having trouble keeping track of where I was going.
You've captured more than half of the mission area. Keep going.
Yeah, I don't know. There was just such a rich backstory, and then so much with that. It's gonna be, I swear it's gonna be Spider-Man walking in and seeing him, and Doctor Doom saying, "I hate you 3000." Like that is how pessimistic I am about what they're doing with Doctor Doom.
The area's almost yours.
That big reveal when he takes off the mask and it's Robert Downey Jr. and Tom Holland gives that shock face, yeah.
I just it's gonna I didn't have an issue with it. The whole Spider-Man kind of almost being like an apprentice to Iron Man and looking up to Iron Man and stuff. I thought it was like, you know what, if this is its own, MCU's doing its own take on things, I think that's fine. This is cool for this of it. But I know the people that really didn't like that idea, I know how they felt now, because I feel like they're just doing the same thing again, but with Doctor Doom. Maybe I'm being, like, hyper pessimistic about it, and maybe I'll be proven wrong. I'd love to be proven wrong, but I just don't see this being very good.
Are we in Thor's bedroom or is this Odin's bedroom?
Trying to see if there's like a symbol somewhere that gives it away.
Well, be the last war we ever fight.
I'm wondering if it's supposed to be like Loki's bedroom, because it's got like green bed sheets and like green curtains and stuff all over.
Yeah.
So maybe Loki's bedroom.
Yeah, but I don't know. I feel like Loki would have pictures of himself all over the walls.
It's accurate. And I still think Mads Mikkelsen would have been a pick for Doctor Doom. That's still who I wish they would have gone with.
Maximum!
Do you see any characters you see people play kind of over and over again? You see, like, it's pretty common.
In this so far,
yeah,
I'm seeing a lot of Venom. Everybody's got that Venom in them. I feel like a lot of Wandas. Definitely a lot of Scarlet Witches. I'm surprised at how many Penny Parkers I've seen, actually. I feel like I'm seeing a lot of those pop up.
Hulk's got like a belt on.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on there.
Gamma ray belt.
Hulk got into fashion.
Yeah, maybe it works for him the way that I don't know. Thor has his own like belt that he wears to wield Mjolnir, maybe.
Shielded from harm.
Possibly. Maybe it might just be like a special belt that makes it so his pants don't rip off when he transforms.
My figure returns.
Their team's capture progress has passed the halfway point.
It's a weird. It's a. I mean, I get it. It's the Marvel property. Games like this are popular, but at the same time,
Pulse charge, fire!
I wonder how long a game like this really has in it. Because there's so many of these. I think it being Marvel will help for sure. Keep some appeal to it, but there's so many really successful, or I guess a handful of really successful games in this style, and I just wonder if it's I can see it pulling people over to try it out, but is it gonna get Overwatch fans to play this all the time instead of playing Overwatch all the time, or is it gonna get Apex Legends players to come play this all the time instead of playing Apex Legends all the time?
I mean, I like the fact that I don't have to because with Apex Legends, it's you pretty much you die and then you have to wait forever to come back and do that and wait to spawn again, walk all the way across the map, and yeah.
30 seconds before you attack.
I just feel I mean, I'm just jumping into it. It's only my second time playing it. I see some people, they have a little bit more tips and tricks about how to play the characters, how to use their special abilities, how to combine them together.
And I mean, if it's got a good balance to it and a good design, I think that people will stay. I just know that I, not having played a lot of games like this, do not have a good grasp on whether this does have a good set of, of mechanics and design behind it. It doesn't feel bad to play. Yeah, I figured I'd try them out.
Pretty decent character.
You know what? You know who I'm, here's my answer. I'm surprised Daredevil isn't in this. I mean, kind of like the Fantastic Four, it's there's a new Daredevil thing coming out soon, so they might just be waiting for that to release. But he seems like a character you'd want day one in a game like this. I would think so.
Yeah, I could maybe see that.
He's one of the most. I mean, he's Marvel's Batman. He's one of the most popular characters, at least my perception of him, and among comic book fans has always been that he's been one of the most popular. I don't know if that translates to movie, TV show fans 100%, but
I'm trying to think, because it makes sense why some people, obviously Spider-Man, you're gonna have Spider-Man in here, obviously.
Gotta have Spider-Man.
You're gonna have, I'm surprised, well, they don't, I guess, they haven't really officially done X-Men, but they have Magneto in here, so.
And Wolverine too, right?
Yeah, Wolverine's in here. Storm.
Storm. I mean, you better have Storm. You literally cannot make a.
Don't mess with the Amazing Spider-Man!
You cannot make a Marvel video game that's an ensemble and not put Thor in, or not put Storm in it. That is illegal.
Yeah, I'm trying to think who else would I would have put a base person I would have put in here just for.
I mean, personally, on a personal level, I would love to have seen. I like Silver Surfer is a cool big one for me because I think he just is weird and kind of different looking from He's simple, but he's just such a weird, kind of different character.
Your team's capture progress has passed the halfway point.
It feels like now, like every Marvel property ensemble character, you got to include the Guardians characters. You got to include them in it.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, it makes sense. They really did. You know, they really jumped into the mainstream in a way that I never thought that was going to happen. I mean, I read, you know, a lot of I read the comics like as they were coming out, Annihilation Conquest, where that particular, like, there's an old Guardians comic from like way back in the day, but I've been reading, or I was reading, oh, the shark got me. Yeah. But like I was reading the Annihilation Conquest comics as they were releasing, where like the Star-Lord, Rocket, Groot, Mantis, like Guardians team formed for the very first time in the comics, and it was always a favorite of mine, that group of characters. And I guess that's 10 years ago now that movie came out, but I remember just feeling like such a sense of surrealness, like when they announced that movie. I could not believe they were doing those characters.
Maximum pulse!
Like, I thought it was one of those things I'd never see adapted. But hey, James Gunn is there for the C-list character fans. That's one of the reasons why I'm excited about his DC stuff. Is I think he's into weird characters that
Are you watching
like,
Creature Commandos or?
Not yet. I'm hoping to be able to watch it tomorrow, though.
I think it's like they're releasing it weekly, right?
Yeah, two this first week, and then I think one until it's over. One a week after that.
How many episodes is it, you know?
It's either 8 or 10.
Oh, okay.
It's not super long, which is great. I mean, I guess I say that, and like a lot of the Disney Plus shows didn't work out with those kind of smaller runtimes. There we go, got their air support out of here.
Man, that Star-Lord is annoying. Oh my god, he's fast.
Did we win? Yay! Oh. Look at that. 2 out of 3. Like, I actually really... Okay, Punisher's working for me. I felt like I could... Magneto and Punisher are the two I felt like I actually was able to do something with so far.
Punisher looks absolutely huge in this game.
Yeah, he's got the JoJo's Bizarre Adventure shoulders.
Pick your hero or villain. I'm not judging.
Yeah, I'll stick with him for now.
Let me see. Let me mix it up here. Shang-Chi, he seems pretty tough to play with in a game like this.
Oh, is he in the game?
Yeah, he's in this game. Oh no, this is Iron Fist. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. I genuinely think, like, 'cause I think it would be, if you wanted to, alright, first of all, get a different fucking actor. Do not bring Finn Jones back.
We should give these
Second of all,
good reason to
I think
hate
if
and
you
fear us
wanted to do
afterward.
Iron Fist, or like actually try that again, I think he'd be cool if he was like a supporting character in the Shang-Chi sequel. Like Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. Like you could have a movie titled Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Iron Fist or something like that. I think you could actually make that character work better in that context.
On super cold materials.
Guess what I can do?
The only time I liked him is when he got paired up with Luke Cage and Mike Coulter.
That's the only good episode of that version of Iron Fist, which I suppose that episode proved it's not impossible for Finn Jones to have worked. They just literally took him going over for a guest spot to Luke Cage for the writers to be like, okay, here's how you're supposed to do this. But that's a just like Doctor Doom. I keep talking about Doctor Doom. Iron Fist is that they just very poorly did that character's personality.
Very whiny.
Yeah. Like he's the opposite of that. Like he is like the most chill. Hey man, like everything's cool. I don't really care. Like I'm chill.
He's like Marvel's Green Arrow, or
Green Arrow's a good comparison. But like less, even less like, because like Green Arrow, I would say is like, and people on the internet might take offense at me saying this, but like classically, I think the big point of Green Arrow is he's like a social justice warrior. Like he's like a super, like his whole thing is that he's like super politically progressive, and his politics are at like the forefront of his character. Whereas like I would say Iron Fist is almost like if the Big Lebowski knew kung fu. Like he's just like really unbelievably chill, and like he gives good advice. He's like a huge ladies' man. He's almost got like that like almost archetypical Bond spy like thing with like women, like where he's like almost like not as much as Daredevil. Daredevil's still the biggest whore in all of them. But Iron Fist is probably a close second. At least Danny Rand specifically is. But I think in that Luke Cage episode, that second season of Luke Cage, where they brought Iron Fist over, that I think actually got kind of that personality down, where he was just zen. Like Luke Cage, the whole reason Luke Cage wanted his help is because he's like, Danny, you're super zen. I feel frustrated a lot recently. Can you help me like calm and relax my mind? And in that one episode, Danny Rand felt super chill and calm, and he wasn't whining about anything. And like, comic book Danny Rand could have the worst day of his entire life, lose his entire like fortune, be homeless, get the shit beaten out of him, get like shot, stabbed, you name it, and still have like a good day. Like he'd still be like happy at the end of the day. He'd be like, yeah, it's fine, you know, I made it through. Things are fine.
So he doesn't have any of that angst about losing his parents?
No, he's like the least angsty character in... Like, he's like the least angsty superhero. Like, I mean, you know, Superman is probably less angsty, but, like, you know, still, as far as Marvel goes, like, he is just such an upbeat, happy character, and it just... I don't know. It was just very weird that they felt the need to adapt him that way. And I feel like part of it is just because Iron Fist, like if you're telling like a Iron Fist Luke Cage team-up story, like the Heroes for Hire, I think you can do that on a TV budget. I think that does make sense on a lower TV budget. But I think if you're just trying to tell Iron Fist, like just pure Iron Fist as like his own thing, I think it kind of needs to be a movie. I mean, his origin story has him clenching his hands into the, like, heart of a dragon, for Christ's sake. Like, I just feel like special effects-wise, like, there's no way to really do...
Well, I mean, House of the Dragon has dragons. They look good.
Well, you're right, but HBO premium, like, programming money versus Netflix... Well, and you know what, Netflix could maybe have spent the money, but, and I don't know this or remember this or heard this, but I believe when Netflix first, like, contracted out, you know, doing all of those shows, they were basically given, like, one big budget to make Daredevil Season 1, Jessica Jones Season 1, Iron Fist Season 1, Luke Cage Season 1, and Defender Season 1. So, like, they were given, like, one single, like, big lump sum of money to do a single season for every character. And then Daredevil was so popular, they were a season 2 out, but then they took from that budget that was supposed to be for each show to get one season. And so I think that ended up really hampering Iron Fist and Defenders because they used up a bunch of the budget they were supposed to be saving. Like, I mean, hey, somebody, if this, if somebody sees this at some point and they, like, know for a fact I'm wrong, please come tell me about it. But as far as I know, they, like, straight up, like, we're not supposed to make a season 2 of Daredevil until after every show had a season 1. And that kind of ended up, like, destroying the budget for Iron Fist because it was the last of the 4 shows.
Oh, Hella's in this game? I didn't know Hella was in this game.
Oh, I did see her on there. That's an interesting one to have right away. Blade's not in here. I see Blade should be in here.
Nah, he's not in here.
I mean, they can't be waiting for a movie to release him in this game with, because that's never happening.
Hostiles up front.
Your team's capture progress is past the halfway point. Your best self.
What? I really love Jessica Jones season 1. I really love that one. And then...
Yeah, the first season's really good. Although, the one thing I really dislike about it is there's the weird kind of big, it's almost implied incesty neighbors that she's got in her building. And the girl ended up being Ashley and the boys later, which I think she's good in the boys.
Oh, but she was. Okay. I forgot about
there was that. Right? Wasn't it like that? It seemed like they were implying it was like a weird incesty couple that was like constantly harassing her. Like that was like a weird set of characters, and I'm like, why are they in this show? What purpose does this serve? That was always like the one big detractor for that first season for me, because I really liked it otherwise. Like I liked everything else about it, but it was
I gotta go back and watch it. I don't remember that.
Yeah, it was bizarre. Like Jessica Jones is like pounds on their door because they're making so much noise, and when they open their door, they're like both in their underwear, but then they're like, brother, it felt like Old Funny when the McCoyles answered the bathrobes. Like it genuinely had this energy. And then
Namor. I forgot Namor.
Oh yeah, he's a bitch. And then I thought Luke Cage was a really interesting show because I thought the first half of the first season was like, I honestly thought it was amazing. I thought it was so well written, so well acted, and it was so good. I thought it was such an interesting plot that was playing out. And then they kill Cottonmouth. And the second half, I was just like, ugh. Well, I don't like this anywhere near as much. And then the second season, I remember, like, in the first half, I was like, it's okay. I don't like it as much as the first half of the first season. But then I remember thinking the second half of the second season really picked up, like, right at the halfway point. And then I was like, oh, man, I love the second half of this season, too. So I was like, it was a weird show where I really liked like one half of each of its seasons, but then I was kind of on the other half of each of those same seasons.
I like your firearms. Never thought I'd find someone with the same taste.
And then Iron Fist was just fucking awful.
Because each of them, well, Daredevil got 3, and then each of them, the other 2 just got 2, right?
I believe Jessica Jones had 3.
Yeah.
But it was such a just kind of human drama with like.
To stop them from securing the mission area.
I don't know. Seasons 2 and 3 of Jessica Jones kind of blended together a little bit for me. Like they were okay, but they weren't super memorable. They tried to commit to the Hellcat character more in the.
She became like a vigilante, and then she became like a serial killer.
Yeah, that was weird. I don't know what they were doing. I don't know what they were doing. Because in the comics, She-Hulk's best friend is Hellcat. And Jessica Jones' best friend is Carol Danvers as Miss Marvel. And then, like, before she becomes Captain Marvel. So, like, they messed all around with those character dynamics.
Yeah. Well, obviously, I mean, I guess, yeah, her friend couldn't be Carol Danvers. Because, yeah, I guess they couldn't do that. So
I mean, that's another character I have a lot of problems with how they adapted.
Carol Danvers.
Yeah, I don't like hate that first Captain Marvel movie. I think it's okay. Like, it's just okay. But in the comics, when Carol Danvers was Miss Marvel for like 30, 40 years, and I mean, obviously, she doesn't have to be Miss Marvel for that long in the movies, but like when Captain Marvel, like the original guy, dies of cancer in the comics, and Carol becomes Captain Marvel in like the honor of her best friend and mentor. It's like this really emotional thing, her becoming Captain Marvel, and having her just start out as Captain Marvel and not really having like the original Captain Marvel really as a character. To me, that makes it hard for me to care that Carol is Captain Marvel. Like, there was so much emotion and
damn,
friendship. I'm dying a lot too. I just get wiped off the map every time I walk in. But yeah, there's just such a rich friendship to Carol and Captain Marvel in the comics. And I'm just really sad that the movies completely kind of just missed out on that. Like this is just me, but if it was up to me, I would have had like the guy, the original dude, Captain Marvel, be Captain Marvel in the first movie, and have Carol be Miss Marvel in that first movie, and then I would have had him die of cancer by the end of the second film, and then have her become take on the role, and then have her like headline the third movie, and like have the whole trilogy kind of be about their friendship and that relationship between those two characters. Because without that, I just didn't care. Like, it just that to me is like the most essential part of the Captain Marvel mythology of the comics, and it basically just deleted the most important thing.
They had it where the other woman got cancer.
Monica Rambeau's mother.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, but that's such a different character, and then like that didn't lead to her becoming Captain Marvel either. Like, they didn't let her become Captain Marvel at all, even though Monica Rambeau was like the leader of the Avengers throughout like a bunch of the 80s comics. And she was actually Captain Marvel before Carol Danvers was ever Captain Marvel in the comics. Just saying. But I don't know. Like, if you're gonna do Carol, if the big thing is you want to do Carol, I feel like you really need to have her best friend and mentor be Marvel. Like I remember when they announced that they cast Jude Law in that movie. I remember thinking that he's gonna be Captain Marvel and he'll be her mentor, and they'll like pass it along within the movie. And then when I saw it, I was like, oh, they didn't even remotely come close to that. And then like also like Carol leaves, and then she's like not on Earth except for like 20 minutes in Endgame. And then, but yet somehow she's established herself as a superhero brand so much on Earth that there's fans enough for Kamala Khan to exist. That's another thing I don't get. Like, Captain Marvel has did so little within the MCU, at least by the time the first Miss Marvel season 1 or whatever came out.
Well,
but
I think they also said, she was helping during the blip, right? And then she was...
I guess so, but they didn't show any of that. So, like, it's all kind of just assumed. And like, you'll buy that this happened off screen, right? And I'm like, no, I don't. Show it to me first.
And then I don't know how much people know about like the big battle that happened in Endgame and like who was
it seems
there.
like every detail. It seems
Yeah.
like everyone in the world to every single detail by some of the dialogue in some of the other shows or some of the post-Endgame stuff.
I guess Ant-Man, he did have a podcast, and then he did have people on there, and then I guess he talked about it, I guess. You could say that.
That's true. I mean, what another missed opportunity, too. Like, again, I feel like, look, this might be, you know, my fault for writing movies in my head before I see these movies. But, like, with Ant-Man, I thought the premise of, like, that was really interesting, where, like, is he, like, he's, like, almost, like, let the celebrity go to his head and become kind of a celebrity douchebag? And, like, maybe he's, like, he kind of is not, like, a great guy, maybe? He's, like, kind of lost his personability a little bit. And I thought, oh, that would be a cool way to have, like, maybe a more dramatic character arc for this character that's been very goofy for the most part. But he had like a couple serious scenes in Endgame, and I thought, like, oh, maybe that's their way of, like, building up to, like, Ant-Man 3 being a slightly more serious movie. And then you watch that movie, and it's like, oh, no, not at all. They didn't even kind of try to make this more serious.
Yeah. I mean, in Ant-Man 3, it seems like it's a lot of them trying to convince you, like, man, you changed, and, you know, now you don't care about the little people.
Really.
You know.
He doesn't behave that way. Like
Yeah.
they say it, but he doesn't actually act that way. And it doesn't help that, like for me, for a long time, I disagreed with the complaint that Marvel was too focused on comedy. Like, these people were making that complaint in the early days of the MCU, and I was like, no, I disagree. I think there's a good balance. But in the Phase 4, I felt like that balance was lost. And, like, that Ant-Man 3 is a good example where it's like, I feel like that movie is, like, pretending to care that it's got, like, a more serious story arc, but, like, I don't think they're actually trying to make it more serious.
Yeah. Like, the only thing Michael Douglas has to do is just go, like, talk about how much he loves ants. It's like, I love ants. Ants are great. And did you know this about ants? And fun facts about ants? It's like, that's his whole carry, is just to talk about ants.
They should have killed him off if that's all they had for.
Put on a show.
Yeah. I think, yeah, somebody asked him on the red carpet, it's like, are you excited to be in Ant-Man 4? It's like I want to die. That's what he said. like, man.
I bet he had more fun getting throat cancer from eating pussy than he did filming that movie.
Yeah.
One step closer to saving the world.
Armed and victory! The eye of Agamotto. Your powers are mine! By the eye.
That stuff with Jonathan Majors completely changed the whole course of what they were going to do. And
It's true. At the same time, what they were doing wasn't working very well, for the most part. I mean, like, I did like him in Loki, but even if I don't know, even if like none of that stuff had happened and they still had him as Kang, that third Ant-Man movie I think would have kind of killed my enthusiasm for where they were going anyway.
you didn't like him losing ants?
Yeah, if Ant-Man could kick his ass and like ants could kick his ass, then what were the why did the Avengers even need to come in? Like what's even the? Although, you know what, I actually did have a theory. I was wondering if they were always planning on having Doctor Doom be the villain of Secret Wars. Because Secret Wars is the Doctor Doom comic book, right? So even before all the Jonathan Major stuff happened, it was kind of weird that it was like, oh, Kang is the villain of Secret Wars. Like, that never made sense to me.
Was it Secret Wars? Or I thought he had his own thing where it's like Kang Dynasty or something.
Well, they announced it as Avengers Kang Dynasty, and then Secret Wars was like pitched as part 2 to that movie. So it seemed like Kang was going to be the villain of both of them, just like Thanos was the villain for 2 movies. But my theory is that, just remember what I was saying earlier about how the Secret Wars comic was was basically Doctor Strange, Doctor Doom used Molecule Man to like recreate this like smaller universe, and that's like what the Secret Wars story takes place in. I was wondering if maybe, because Kang is this character that's got a version of himself in every universe and can manipulate multiverse travel and stuff. I was thinking maybe the idea was Kang would basically take Molecule Man's place, and you'd get like a whole movie, Kang Dynasty, all about Kang and all these versions of Kang, and then in like the end of the movie, Doctor Doom would a surprise villain that no one thought was going to be in the movie, and he would like come in and like basically do to Kang what he does to Molecule Man in the comics, setting Doom up for being the villain in that Part 2 movie. Because I mean, if that had, again, if Kang hadn't kind of fallen through on them, I think that would have been kind of interesting, at least in theory, just because, yeah, you could do Thanos again and have 2 Avengers movies, Doctor Doom as the villain, or you could do Kang, have all this build-up with Kang, and then, like, still let him have a whole movie to be the villain, but then still kind of do a rug pull and have Doom be the villain in Part 2, instead of having one villain across both movies. I think that could have been interesting. I mean, obviously, nothing like that's ever going to happen, but, what might have been. Somewhere in the multiverse, there's a universe where Jonathan Majors is still in the MCU.
He's still in the MCU, still doing it.
Something you know, I'm not taking it seriously.
30 seconds before you attack. Get ready.
Somewhere out there.
I hear you're a hard case. Real tough guy.
I don't play favorites, and I don't listen to excuses.
So what, you never cut anyone a break?
Is this supposed to be...
Oh, it's $20.99? Spider-Man?
That's what I was thinking. Well, that's one of the... She was like one of the computer spider ladies, and
don't forget, securing the mission area is your top
that was in
priority.
the last Spider-Verse movie. So and this with all the high-tech stuff here, I am thinking maybe this is supposed to be the 2099 universe. Yeah, because there's a lot of, like, Japanese writing on it's like all cyberpunk and stuff. That's kind of the look and style of the 2099 world, so...
How do you like the maps here?
I mean, they're cool. I mean, they're pretty interesting so far. I feel like we've also repeated just a couple of them quite a few times, though, so... certainly they could use more of them. Yeah, I mean, the ones that are here, I think they look cool. They're pretty well designed. I probably like the maps more than, like, the costumes for the characters. I like that the Punisher can just shoot the Hulk to death.
Have you tried Iron Man yet?
I have not tried Iron Man yet. I should probably do that.
I'm with him right now. Seems pretty decent.
Oh yeah, I see you right there. I'm right behind you. Ah! Damn it, Scarlet Witch.
Yeah, got me. Be interesting to see all the different skins for these characters.
It's gonna cost $40,000 to get all of them.
I think they say you can grind hard and get some of them. Get them.
I mean, that's what they say with every single one of these live service games, and like, while they're telling the truth when they say that, it's also such an absurd amount of grinding that you have to do that it's like it's not worth it.
Another bump in the...
Yeah. Who's gonna do all that grinding to get a new Magneto skin?
I'm sure there will be people that do, and people that play this on the regular. And if you're truly like, oh yep, I see Alchemax on the sides. That's the corporation from 2099, so that is definitely where we are. Yeah, Alchemax. I mean, like, yeah, people who, like, come back to this game and, like, keep playing it and are really into it, I'm sure they will, over time, get a lot of those skins and have fun with that and not mind the grinding because they're just having fun with the game. I mean, for me, this is a novelty, right? That's not going to last very long.
Oh, I wish there were different modes. Seems like it's kind of the same modes here. A lot of just like
yeah, it's kind of the same thing.
Capture the point, or like you have to assist something to get to a point.
Yeah, they could definitely use more gameplay modes. I mean, I guess it's partially what you get with a free-to-play game is, it's not really a finished game. Really, like they're going to keep adding stuff.
Like multiverse.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like any of those live service games, multiverses, Fortnite. It's just gonna, if it keeps doing well, they'll just keep adding more stuff as time goes on. And I mean, eventually you'll have a wealth of content if the game sticks around in the long run. Which, I mean, I think this one has a chance to stick around because it's Marvel. I think that does a lot. It runs really smoothly. Like, I'm not having, like any, like, real graphical hiccups or, like, I'm not seeing, like, a lag in, like, or any, like, slowdown with, like, the internet connection, which I mean, I have a good internet connection, so maybe that's doing part of the work, but, like, this runs well. It's got a good frame rate. Like, it's there's a lot of things about this that I am going to compliment on, like, a technical level. But again, it's just for me personally. Games in this style are only fun for a little while. Like, they just get old very quickly. I am just a very, very single-player focused guy. Like, it's not even... I don't think this is bad either. Like, I think this is good. Like, I think it's a well-made game. I also know that it's not going to have, like, years and years and years worth of my attention either,
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, playing a little bit, yeah, I wouldn't say I would go back to it that regularly, I don't think. One more round?
Yeah, I'm down for more.
I'll do one more round, then I'll hit the bid.
That sounds good. So, for you, are you someone that plays, like, multiplayer games, like, a lot of the time? Like goes back to... Do you have ones that you go back to kind of over and over again?
No, not particularly. The last one I played regularly was Call of Duty. That was it. I've tried to get into, like, Apex, but I was kind of bored by Apex.
I will bring peace to this universe, no matter the cost.
And, like, would you say for the Call of Duty one, was that like a really long time you were in that multiplayer, or was it just, like, a little while?
A little while. I did, like, a few things in it, like zombies or something like that.
Sure.
But, yeah, Adam Warlock is in this. This is interesting.
Time has come.
Oh, yeah. That's another... That's another character that kind of did... I mean, I actually thought he was funny, and I didn't mind the way James Gunn used him. But if they had really adapted that character, kind of, with a lot of what makes him the Adam Warlock in the comics, he would have been one of the main characters of Infinity War.
The battle starts in 5,
And he's got, like, a staff or something?
3, 2,
yeah, no, he's got, like, a big staff in the comics.
Oh.
In the original Infinity Gauntlet comic, he straight up is, the person that, he straight up is the guy that, has the Infinity Gauntlet at the end of the Infinity Gauntlet comic. He's, like, the guy. Silver Surfer, I mean, Galactus helps fight Thanos in that comic. It's like, there's so much going on that's not in those movies. I mean, I think those are very, but, you know, they're only lightly adapting that story.
Somebody said any hero shooter is better than Overwatch, but I've seen, but what I've seen, I don't think I'd bother downloading to play.
The ganja?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you. I'm with you, Sir Ganja. I don't know. I mean, obviously I downloaded this and I am playing it here. And I mean, it's fun. Like, yeah, you know, especially just like talk over and kind of nerd out about comic book stuff during it. But yeah, it's not something I could see myself, like, really spending time on.
Yeah. Like, you wouldn't grind to, like, be very good at it or get the skins or something.
And I also definitely would not spend money on it either. give you know, I want my story-driven games. I want my single-player story-driven games. And lots of people love multiplayer, so like all the more power to them. You know, I'm sure this game will probably do well.
Yeah, I want to see how many downloads it has. Probably.
It's definitely like the barrier to entry is low with it being free to play for sure. So like it probably will do alright, but and like I mean like you know, I said at the beginning of this stream, I've lived and breathed Marvel and comics and superheroes my entire life. But this still, you know, even though it is capturing a certain amount of Marvel personality, I don't know. I'm not being told a story here, you know.
Maybe they'll add a story. Maybe they'll add a story mode, something like that. Maybe.
If they added a story mode, that would be the one way in which I would come back and be like, all right, let me actually seriously check this out again. Like, that would be the way to get me to come back.
Said my go-to shooter is Paladins, a lot faster pace, a lot more heroes, and many different ways of playing them. Even your healers can be damaged or quite tanky.
Interesting. I don't know if I've heard of Paladin.
I haven't heard
Is that a console game or a PC only type thing?
Let me try.
I am enjoying just like shooting people from afar as the Punisher.
Let me try him. One of his things is he's got chilling charisma.
Wait, who does?
Namor, chilling charisma. PC and consoles.
Okay. I mean, you know, like, I don't know that I'll necessarily check that out, just because I'm not a hero shooter guy, but it's based on what Sir Gunge is saying, it does sound like it's got more going on than most other ones.
Takes a bit of learning, but for me, way more exciting, free to play. So with Namor, is it true that he, like, sexually harasses Sue Storm, or what it was?
Oh, constantly. Well, I mean, you know, especially in old, like, 60s comics and shit. I mean, Reed Richards also slapped his wife all the time, so, you know. You can't always take all the stuff from those old comics as, like, super seriously, like, canon or meaningful either, but, you know. But I feel like Namor, like, kind of a perv with Sue Storm is actually pretty... I feel like that's still probably
Does she flirt
the case.
back, or is it just one-sided?
Sometimes she does. Sometimes she would. If Reed was being too big of a dick, she might, like, taunt him by flirting back a little bit.
It's not like Shamik Moore and Haley Steinfeld. It's not like that.
I'd say, like, it's 70% of the time it is.
The moon haunts you.
Well, you can't expect to win them all.
Oh, I don't want to lose on loss here. I don't want to go ahead. Let's see if I can get one more here. Bad luck to
no worries.
Bad luck to leave on a defeat there. It's bad luck.
I'm down for more. Oh, I didn't know I could do that. Here, everybody have a thumbs up. Everybody can have a thumbs up.
Yeah.
Spider Islands, Tokyo 29. Oh, okay, yeah, okay. Yeah,
Oh, we got this map again. Yeah.
Doesn't it feel like they're eating a lot?
Yeah. Paladin gives you mounts to get your objectives, so none of this boring walking to get where you want to go.
Okay. I mean, I would say, at least here, I don't feel like I'm having to walk that much. I guess I feel like the maps are pretty tight and small. So I don't feel like I'm spending like a lot of time on that, but if the maps were significantly bigger, then I would want some like greater means of transportation.
Okay, let me see what Captain America has. Let me see what he got.
I had trouble with him.
There's that game coming up with Captain America and Black Panther.
I am like we've only seen cutscenes and no gameplay from that, and yet I am very excited anyways because it's got what I think is a underappreciated name in the video game industry attached to it, which is Amy Hennig. Now, do you recognize that name just based on the name?
She did Last of Us, didn't she? Or
she did the first Last of Us. She did Uncharted 2. She's also just in general on the Uncharted franchise was a big part of that. And then she also Legacy of Kain was a big franchise for her back on like the PlayStation 1. So that was like her first, I feel like, big series, and then Uncharted, and then The Last of Us. And she went and she formed a new game studio, and this Captain America Black Panther game is her like first game at this new studio that she founded. So I have like full confidence in that game because I think she just has put out banger after banger basically her entire career. Like if you were gonna put if you were gonna do like a list of like the greatest video game creators, I would put her name on that list alongside people like Hideo Kojima. Like, I really think Amy Hennig deserves more kind of recognition for what she's done.
Yeah, it's a weird name though. It's like 1663 or something.
It's 1943. So it's because it's World War II. So it's actually a full like we're fighting like Hydra, but also just like the straight up SS in World War II. Because the Black Panther in the game is T'Challa's grandfather, because of the time period it's taking place in. Which I also think that's interesting, because I don't feel like I've ever really seen T'Challa. I don't even know T'Challa's grandfather's name. I know his father, T'Chaka, but I don't know what his grandfather's name even is.
Yeah. So.
But I think that's a cool idea. And again, Amy Hennig is such a great creator. And yeah, I have faith that that's going to be an awesome game. I think that's going to be a really cool one.
Enjoy the amplifier.
I hope so. Yeah. I wonder why they decided to name it that, and then I think you and I discussed it, or maybe I discussed it with somebody else about the trailer.
I think it was you and me actually.
Yeah, like why they do that instead of just naming it like Black Panther and Captain America.
I think here's my theory, and I don't know if I said this on your video or if I thought of this later, but my theory is that they didn't want audience expectations to necessarily like assume that either character was like the main character. So I think giving it a title that didn't have the characters' names in it might have been their way of going, it's not a Captain America game or a Black Panther game. It's a game about World War II within the Marvel world. like at least that's my thought right now. Is we wanted to not necessarily feel like it was like headlined by a specific character. And because you don't even only play as those two either. You also
play the Howling Commandos, right?
Yeah, Gabriel Jones. Yeah, Gabriel Jones and Gabriel Jones, and then I don't know the woman's name. But then so it's 4 total playable characters, and then the last one is one of the Dora Milaje. Or like the head of the Dora Milaje at that point in time.
Now might be a good time to stop them.
So, yeah, I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Like I said, I really believe in her as a creator. So I have very little. I'm not skeptical of it, even though I haven't seen that much yet. She's one of those creators where I'm just like, all right, it's like Hideo Kojima. I'm willing to give anything you do a chance because you've made so many things I like. But I'm just like, yeah, whatever you want to do, just go for it. Just whatever. Amy Hennig is like 100% one of those creators.
Sniper right there. See?
I forgot to mention Paladins gives every cards to change the way they play. You earn credits and to perks for the champ as well.
Oh, okay. Sounds like there's a lot going on in there. That game.
Star-Lord is pretty fun. Star-Lord's got some good stuff. I'm playing him. He's got some good stuff.
Nice.
Man.
This time I need healing.
Better stop that vehicle.
Oh, sweet moves, right?
Hey, check out this big airport.
Plasma burst!
Heads up, they've got a sniper.
Born again!
Alright, Dagger. Hold still. I'm trying to help. Here up. Stop them in their tracks.
Oh shit. Oh, Namor can put like a big swimming pool and like whirlpool there.
Oh shit. Fell right off.
We've got an octopus problem here. Watch out! They got a sniper.
Better stop that vehicle. It's now or never. Stop them.
Quantum map.
You'd say Punisher's your character right now? That's pretty much.
Yeah, I'm liking the way he plays probably more than anybody else.
The dragon
Stop them in their tracks.
enemies out.
Who was the worst character you played with?
Captain America was the one I had the hardest time. I just did not feel like I could really get him to do anything.
All these fighters can't. Oh, that's the stuff.
The only games I really play online with people now, I really have much online interactions with fighting games mainly.
Sure. Did you play more online when you were younger, or is that something you just never were as into the online scene?
I played a little bit when I was younger. I played more online younger than now compared to now, but it wasn't a huge amount.
Sure.
Oh, those are some angry octopi.
Cause yeah, it's kind of better if you know people. Yeah.
Yeah, you got like a crew to go into it with, a whole group of people are like, hey, let's coordinate. Let's actually talk in like a big group with, strategize. Really kind of.
I think the worst person I played with so far, I tried out Captain America. Yeah, I didn't understand what's kind of going on there. Black Panther wasn't. I mean, because he's a character that's like you got to get up close, you got to run up to somebody. And do all that.
Yeah, he was just literally, he moved so quickly that I genuinely had a hard time, like, even like really controlling where he was going. Like, he kept moving around, and I was like, I don't even know where I'm going. Like, I don't even know where I'm going to end up when I do a move.
They got the drop on you.
Defeat was your destiny.
Down to 30 seconds. He stopped them in their tracks.
Coming in.
The final 10 seconds.
Sniper, chase him. Let him get set up.
Let's keep fighting until we have
By the eye of Agamotto!
Oh, that's cool. He can like take you out of your body like Doctor Strange. So.
That's pretty cool. I like that.
Who's perfect now, Warlock?
You think they do a good job at adding like some key moves from the characters that you know they do?
At least some of them for sure. I mean, like I said, like Captain America, Black Panther, I didn't quite have a great feel for them, but like Magneto, Punisher, at least, like probably the two I've been the best with. I felt like I had them. I feel like, yeah, they feel like those characters.
I'm doing this my way!
I don't know what type of guns he's got, like futuristic tech guns.
God damn. I just had a 15-player kill streak just now.
Nice. And you were you just sitting on top shooting?
Yeah, I kept putting his turret down and just getting rid of them as they came into the room.
Nice.
Well,
there we go. Got the victor. Who's on right now? You see anybody?
Let's see.
Vandy's on. He's still on.
We could do it. We could double rate him.
Yeah.
Why not?
Eiffel Tower him with the raids. Let's see.
It's Eiffel Tower Vantage.
Yeah, he's on. He's playing Marvel Rivals too. He was playing Indiana Jones in the Great Circle before. He said he loved it.
I'm so excited to play it. It's just because I don't have an Xbox, I have to wait until like March or April to play it.
Yeah, that sucks. That kind of sucks though.
I mean, I expected for a long time for it to be. I genuinely expected it to be like exclusive to the Xbox, so like it coming over was a huge surprise. So I'll take it. I mean, it's only a couple of months. There's so many games out there anyway.
Yeah. All right, people. We're gonna be sending you over to Vanispheres there, playing that Marvel Rivals. Thank you to Sage for helping me out, popping up with this game.
Thank you for co-hosting my stream too.
Yeah. I know he hates stuff like this, so thanks for joining me. Hey, stay tuned, everybody. Got a stream coming up with Sage in a couple weeks there. Going to be doing a review for The Hobbit 1977, Rings of Power Season 2, and discussing best PlayStation games there. Top 10 list. So, there we go. So, everybody, stay tuned.
Have a good night.
Good night. Ah.
Cool.
Cool.
Yeah.
Very
Well,
good.
have a good night, man.
Have a good night. Take care.